Okay, now this is the Malika hash. This is the strongest of the hash that we have. Yesterday she got a milder version, but she doesn't know that yet. And this is really the strongest. So, but it's a happy one though. It's an uplifting one, but really, really strong.
So who's gonna carry her home? I'm not gonna carry you.
Oh look, she's sitting there, yeah, waiting.
She looks nervous.
All right, that's it. Let's go and see what she thinks, huh? I've made you a new one.
Great. It's the same amount, exactly the same amount of cannabis?
It's same amount of hash, yes, but different kind.
Right, okay. Well, nothing for the moment,
no?
But we do have to wait, don't we? We have to wait.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just, well, not wait, just let it happen. Okay, I'll get you a coffee.
I really feel different from yesterday. Oh my goodness. What did you put in that thing? Hello. This time, oh no. My muscles feel very heavy. My mind is like treacle. And there's a delay. I feel blind drunk and out of control. The second spliff is definitely much stronger. It may not be totally accurate, but at least their menu is a guide to what you're getting. Bye! My month in Amsterdam is over, and it's time to leave. I'm a whole lot wiser, but I am still puzzled why my experience under the influence of cannabis has been so varied, from freaked out to chilled out. I'm back home, and cannabis is in the headlines. Have I been putting myself at more risk than I thought? Reports suggest one spliff can cause madness. Back in the 30s, they were saying the same thing. Is it all scaremongering, or can cannabis make you mad? How strong is the evidence that cannabis contributes to psychosis? Professor Robin Murray is at the forefront of British research into the matter at the Institute of Psychiatry. Hello, Professor Murray. Nice to meet you. I have to say, I'm quite scared about the headlines I've been reading. There's one that said, psycho risk, one joint. What do you think about these scary headlines?
I think probably the risk of taking one joint and going psychotic is the equivalent of taking one drink of wine and becoming alcoholic. So it's negligible. It's ridiculous. Cannabis taken regularly, several joints a day over a period of years, will in fact increase one's risk up to doubling it. Some people have a greater liability to going psychotic on cannabis, whereas other people seem to be able to smoke without really coming to any great harm at all. People vary in their genetic liability, and then there are the environment, the social factors, whether they have a really difficult life. These sort of factors also contribute, but cannabis may add to these factors and tip them over the edge into psychosis.
So though long-term use of cannabis could trigger psychosis, the more lurid headlines are wrong. But what about all those newspaper claims that cannabis on our street has become much stronger? Is that true or not? I'm going to a forensic lab where drugs seized in police raids end up. Dr. Phil Yates is a forensic drugs scientist and is an expert on the cannabis sold on Britain's streets.
This is where items are kept when we first receive them from the police.
All sorts of drugs in there, it's not just cannabis, all sorts.
Exactly,
right.
Everything that we receive, whatever drug type it is.
A little cannabis plant is there.
Oh yeah, yeah. And here we have an example of some flowering tops, which you can have a look down the microscope if you like.
They're like little kind of beads.
Yes, that's right, and those are what is known as the resin glands. And if you look at it under a higher powered microscope, that's what they actually look like. They kind of look a bit like mushrooms, where you've got a stalk with a little sort of dumpy donut-shaped thing on the top.
Yeah.
And they contain the drug.
What I really want to know, though, is it stronger than it used to be?
Well, the short answer to that question is yes. The majority of the cannabis that we see in the UK these days is the homegrown, genetically altered type, which can contain 10 to 15% THC typically. If you compare that to the naturally grown cannabis that would be imported from abroad, that would typically contain 3 to 5% THC. So in comparison, it's 3 to 4 times stronger. A worrying trend that we have seen in the last year or so in the UK is cannabis tops, which have been adulterated with tiny glass beads. And if you imagine you're inhaling tiny red-hot beads into your lungs, I'm sure it can't do you any good.
With cannabis production in the hands of criminals, it's no surprise they happily add glass balls to make their dope look stronger. So whilst 15 million people may enjoy cannabis, do they really know what they're getting? 3 cannabis farms are raided every day in Britain. Skunk, which is cannabis grown specifically for its high THC, is on the rise. There's now so much grown here that for the first time, Britain is exporting the drug. Out on the street, people also think it's getting stronger and that it can cause problems.
Skunk is a very powerful drug. Do you want me to tell you all the things that it does to me, seriously?
Yeah, tell me.
Like, I'm in my house, like, I hear a helicopter, I'm looking out the window, like, it does all madnesses to me, it makes me paranoid.
24/7.
Sometimes I can just be normal, like smoking, I'm very happy, and then after, my mum, she might say something like, oh, Rich! Like, and then I'll just, whoa! Whoa! Like, that's all the things it does to you, seriously. It's a dangerous thing. If you're 13 or younger, stay away from it till you're like 21 or something, till you know what it actually, because all the